Hi there folks, welcome to Dundee's Guitar World and welcome to the last part in my look at Paul Chapman's career in UFO from 1979 to 1983. Now, I'll begin with saying when I started this series back in January, I was doing it for two reasons. One, I'm a huge fan of UFO, that era of the band, of Paul's work in the band. And two, I didn't see many people on YouTube going over Paul's stuff with UFO, so that's the reason I started doing this. And the last thing I expected was for Paul to pass away. When I'm doing the series, it was just incredibly sad. So I'm just going to finish the series the way I started, by looking at the album and then going over some guitar lessons. And this one will be a bit more in depth, looking at the album and the music press from when it came out. Now what I'll do is, because there's quite a lot to get through, I'll do this in three parts. The first part, this one, I'll just look at the press that the album got and talk a bit about the album. I've still got all my Kerrang magazines from way back in the day. And I'll listen to a couple of tunes as well. And in the second and third parts, I'll go over the guitar lessons for the individual songs that I covered. So much like the very first one, this might take some time, so strap yourself in. A nice cup of tea. So I have my extensive show notes and my stuff here. So the album came out on February the 14th, 1983. Valentine's Day for the lovers out there. It's the original vinyl on Chrysalis Records. This would normally be indicative of a Hypnosis sleeve, but I don't think it is. So there's Neil playing a Fender Telecaster Custom, or is it Deluxe, the two humbuckers. Paul playing his 10-string BC Rich. And Phil playing with his microphone. So there's no Pete Way at this point. Pete's gone, Pete's bailed ship. It's Phil Mogg vocals, Paul Chapman lead guitar, bass guitar, Neil Carter keyboards, rhythm guitar, bass guitar, vocals, Andy Parker drums. Album produced and engineered by Mick Glossop. Naked lady's bum on the cover. Don't know if you get away with that now. So side one, Blinded by a Lie, Diesel and Dust, A Fool for Love, You and Me, When It's Time to Rock. Side two, The Way the Wild Wind Blows, Call My Name, All Over You, No Getaway, Push It's Love. So standard 10-track vinyl album. I think vinyl you can only get a finite amount of music on it, so this is what you got, 10 songs. I really like this album. At the time probably people were saying it's not as strong as the previous album, it's not as good as The Will, The Willing and the Innocent, or They've Gone Downhill, but I really like it. There's some fantastic tunes on it. And it's funny, when I've been trying to play the riffs, I haven't played these songs for a long time, when I was reacquainting myself with them, they're very tricky. There's some tricky guitaring going on here from Mr. Paul Chapman. So it's great. So let's look. This is my tour programme from the Making Contact World Tour. Although, to be honest, I didn't really cover the world, I just covered Europe, and that was it. I think they called it a day at the end of that. Now, one interesting thing here is, if you look closely, that's Billy Sheehan on the bass. Billy Sheehan from Tallis and Dave Lee Roth Band and Mr. Big. So this is a tour programme which is looking a bit battered now. It includes a free pull-out poster, which I think I had on my wall back at my parents' house, but I don't have it here. So, quick look at that. I think I got the black t-shirt. A couple of my mates got the purple one. They would have been £5.25 in 1983 money. So this opens up into a calendar. So Mr. Phil Mogg is he's January-February playmate, and he says, as a founder member of UFO, I would like to say to all UFO fans, thank you for your support through the years. The band has been through a few changes, but we all feel this is a good time for us. Making Contact is our best record so far. We are doing a world tour in 1983, so we will get to see you all soon. Keep on rocking, Phil. And Paul is March and April. Cool pictures there. What does Paul say? Paul's saying, we're on the road again. It only seems like yesterday we were on the 1982 American tour with Ozzy Osbourne. That was crazy. I can imagine that was crazy. We had a good time making the album. Neil and myself enjoy playing bass as well as guitar. I wrote When It's Time to Rock with Phil, and we both feel this is one of our strongest songs so far. We have just finished playing some shows in Poland, which was very different. Everyone should go there. UFO are on a 1983 world tour, so we'll definitely get to see you somewhere. Cheers, Paul. Like that photograph with his BC Rich. Then we're on to Andy Parker. Andy Parker is Playmate of the Month in May and June. Let's see what the bold Andy Parker says. I am the only member of UFO who resides full-time in America, Los Angeles to be precise, where the Californian sun shines most of the time. I remember reading this and thinking, it's pissing with rain and freezing cold in Scotland. Lucky Andy Parker. I'll continue. Phil lives in London and Texas. Paul in London and Florida. Neil is from Brighton, England, so we are all spread all over the place. When you tour so much, it's nice to get away from each other for a while. But we are back together again for this world tour, and we feel real good about the record. I hope you do too. Take care, Andy. P.S. I'm from England, so playing in the UK is still very special. That was just in case people were getting annoyed he lives somewhere really hot. Now there's a lot here. I'm not going to read this all out. What I'll do is I'll scan it in and I'll put a picture at the end of the video when I'm putting some music, and you can read it at your leisure without having to interpret my Scottish accent. So UFO thank the following: Tasco, Cord keyboards, and interestingly Vox amplification and Washburn guitars. I can't remember if when we saw them in March if Paul had a Vox backline, but I've certainly seen a lot of photographs from that period, and he's using Voxes. And last but not least, Neil Carter, July, August. I am the newest member of UFO. I joined in the summer of 1980, just before headlining the Reading Festival. Making Contact is special for me because I was more involved in the songwriting with Paul and Phil. We spent a few weeks in a quiet hotel. In fact, it says quite. We spent a few weeks in a quiet hotel in Sussex writing all the songs for the album. In fact, we are still working on new tunes while we are touring, preparing for the next album. Look forward to seeing you on the road. Love, Neil. Neil with his Washburn guitars there. And finally, September, October. Well, not finally, but getting near the end. Pictures there. And some more pictures for November, December. Oof, that's a big jump. Big jump there, eh? And the final one, December. That's a killer photograph, that. Ross Halfman, I think, perhaps took that one. So that's the tour programme. It's got a list of the albums, releases and stuff like that. It's got the tour dates. So the tour started on February the 6th, but I've actually got a bootleg, I'm sure, from the 29th of January. But that's the next segment I'm coming up to. So it starts in Belgium, I think it is. 6th of February, goes through France, Portugal, Spain, France again, Italy, Greece, and then over to Belgrade, and then Germany, Copenhagen, Stockholm, Helsinki, and then we're on to the UK dates. UK dates start on the 21st of March 1983 at the Gaumont Theatre in Ipswich, and then it's Sheffield, Nottingham, Oxford, Birmingham, Leicester, Bradford, Newcastle, Edinburgh Playhouse Theatre on the 30th, Aberdeen Capitol Theatre on the 31st, 1st of April, no joke here, Glasgow Apollo on the 1st of April. Glasgow Apollo was an incredible venue. I mean, I was only there a couple of times, but I saw like Quo, seen Status Quo at the Glasgow Apollo. Oh, brilliant. Then it's Preston, Liverpool, Manchester, Cardiff, Gloucester, Bristol, Poole, Southampton, Brighton, Southend, London. It's only got 2 dates here for the 14th and 15th at Hammersmith in London, and then the 22nd is supposed to be off to Hong Kong, Bangkok, Manila, Kuala Lumpur, Japan, and then 14th of May, supposed to be just got USA. But I think a lot of these dates just got cancelled. The band called it a day after the Hammersmith shows. So that's the album and the tour programme. So I'll put my used props to one side here. So my extensive show notes tell me the bootlegs I have from this tour. I was the right one for recording gigs and trading tapes, you know, way back in the 80s, and then moving on to CDs in the 90s and stuff like that, and then, so I mean, I have a ton of bootlegs. What do I have? I have Poland on the 29th, Paris 2nd of February, Ferrand, France 9th February, Milan, Italy, Naples, Italy. Now these dates all featured Billy Sheehan on bass. At the end of this video I'll put 2 songs with one song and a bass solo with Billy Sheehan playing a bass solo. I mean, the man can play a bass. Then on to the UK, I have the first date, Ipswich 21st, and then I've got 22nd Sheffield, Birmingham 26th, Leicester 27th, Bradford 28th, Newcastle 29th, Edinburgh 30th. Now I didn't actually record that one. I think I got the tape from someone else. Aberdeen on 31st, 1st of April in Glasgow, 4th of April Manchester, 5th Cardiff, and Hammersmith on the 15th. I'm not sure if that's the one that was released for Headstone. I think the whole thing's been released now anyway. But there's some great bootlegs. But when you look at setlist.com, when they started the tour, they were doing quite a long set. They were doing long sets. S-E-T-S, not S-E-X, long sets. They were starting with, this is from Ipswich, so the first UK date of the tour. Start with Electric Phase, Hot and Ready, We Belong to the Night, Let It Rain, When It's Time to Rock, Blinded by a Lie, No Place to Run, Couldn't Get It Right, Only You Can Rock Me, Long Gone, Love to Love, Diesel on the Dust, Too Hot to Handle, Lights Out, Mystery Train, Rock Bottom, and Doctor Doctor. So they were only doing 3 songs off the new album, only doing 3 songs off of Making Contact. They're doing When It's Time to Rock, Blinded by a Lie, and Diesel on the Dust. Now on all of these live recordings and all the set lists, that's the only 3 songs they did live off the album. Now by the time they get to the end of the tour at Hammersmith, they're just starting with When It's Time to Rock and Blinded by a Lie. So I mean the set seems quite a bit shorter. Edinburgh was shorter as well. They started in Edinburgh with When It's Time to Rock and Blinded by a Lie as well, and we'll put those 2 songs at the end of this video so you can listen to them. You can hear the Scottish crowd going crazy. So they seem to shorten their set list the longer the tour went on. I mean, it's maybe just as well he didn't get to the US. It would have been maybe been doing a 1-song set. But I say at the end of the UK tour they decided to call it a day. Well, Phil decided not to call it a day about 1.5 years later, but you know, that's for another episode. So let's look at some magazines from the time. This is Kerrang, issue number 34, January, February 1983, Phil Lynott. I've got 2 of these just in case. Now, whatever here, oh look, there we go. So in this one, as I said earlier, I mean, Paul using boxes. It certainly seems to be advertising them there. Again, I'll scan this in and put it at the end of the video when you listen to some tunes. But he speaks very highly of the I-25. Was it 125? Oh yes, 125 watts. It's a loud one, that. So that's Kerrang issue 34. And then we're on to Kerrang issue 35. Now, just in case I've got 3 of these, you know, I don't want to lose one. So here we have a review for Making Contact. Now, I will spare you the pain of reading this out in a terrible Scottish accent, and I will scan it in at the end. The review's by Dave Dixon. I'll just read the last paragraph. Whatever happens, UFO have emerged with a powerful slab of vinyl of which they can be justifiably proud. Isn't that enough? And then there's a full look at UFO, including Mr. Chapman and Mr. Mogg, Mr. Billy Sheehan down there, curly hair. So it's quite a long feature. Another one to be scanned in and not to be read out. So that's one of 3 issues of Kerrang number 35. And now we're up to Kerrang 36. Good God. Progressive rock, 1973 to 1983. Let's get on to the real stuff. Concerts. Here we have a review of UFO and Spider. Saw Spider a few times, I really liked him. Very status quo, but a good band nonetheless. So it's quite a long review by Howard Johnson. Mentioned Billy Sheehan on bass. So, can't remember if I showed you that picture or not. So I'll scan that one in as well. I mean, I must like progressive rock so much, I've even got 2 of these ones. And then Kerrang issue 37, March 10th to 23rd, 1983. Fast Eddie progressive rock. You wouldn't hear Fast Eddie listen to progressive rock. Now I think I picked this one out because it's got Pete Way. The bold Peter Way, with the first lineup of Wasted. I think I just got this because he makes some quotes about UFO. It starts, it's hardly surprising that Way was disillusioned with mechanics, as it's a total antithesis of what Wasted are about. And Pete says, UFO started becoming too soft. They started using too many keyboards. In the end, everyone was complaining about the group's direction, but it was obvious that the moaning wasn't going to get me anywhere, which is why I left. I had to leave because I couldn't stand it anymore. It got to the point where the shows were terrible. I didn't think so, but, you know, Pete would know. What was it? Pete says, in UFO, I was always the one who would go out and buy the Black Sabbath albums, and the rest of the band would say, that's a load of crap. You gotta love Peter. Love Pete Way. You gotta love grown men in furry loincloths as well, I like Manowar, by the way, I'm not knocking them. So Kerrang issue 38. The lovely rock goddess on the front. Always get Jodie and Julie mixed up. I think is that Jodie? I think so. This is what I couldn't find. I said in other videos about a really bad review of UFO from Athens, but I couldn't find it. I just found not a whole review, just a little feature here, and it's just in the mayhem, and it starts. It seems that UFO have reached the end of the road, as has been reported elsewhere in the press. Phil Mogg collapsed on stage in Greece during a show, suffering from nervous exhaustion, a condition that eyewitnesses have seen developing for some little time on this European tour. As a result, the band were forced to return to England, cancelling a number of continental dates on the way. However, the UK tour is still at this time of press going ahead. Just what will happen to the various members of UFO remains uncertain at present, although it has been rumoured that Neil Carter actually telegrammed Ozzy in the States, offering his services. However, the Ozman rejected this offer of help. Ozzy said, "Thanks, but no thanks, Neil." So we're on to April 1983, Kerrang issue 40 with Gillan joins Sabbath. I mean, who can forget Ian Gillan joining Black Sabbath? I mean, apparently he woke up in the morning having been for, 57 pints with Tony and Bill. Tony and Geezer woke up in the morning and was like, what happened last night? And they went, "You joined Black Sabbath." And he was like, "Have I?" But I like the album, it's certainly different. And when you heard them from Reading doing Smoke in the Water, that was something as a young heavy metal fan you never thought you'd hear. Anyway, what do we have here? UFO RIP. UFO RIP. Phil Mogg faces the fans. I think what happened here was the guy who was doing the interview, can't remember who it is.
5 minutes later.
Tells me there. Steve Gett. So this is a substantial interview and comments on the band. Another one I'll scan in. It's funny when you look at these old Kerrangs, Look at Ozzy with his short hair. He's crazy. Now we're nearly there, 2 Kerrangs to go. This is Kerrang 44, June 1983. What have I picked up here? UFO, a look back in Hangover. Clever stuff, eh? An uncensored history by Gary Bushell. Mr. Chapman. Resplendent in a red jumpsuit, I think. And his non-reverse Firebird. So this is a look back at the band. Pete and Phil cutting hotel costs by sharing the same bed, and Tonka and road manager John Knowles. I'm sure Tonka posted some photographs from this on a fishing trip with the band. Some crazy stories out there of the UFO chaps on tour. What happens on tour stays on tour. So we're here, we're at the last issue that I need to look at. Number 49. Thin Lizzy, Over and Out. That's what I've found here. I've found Queensryche in tights. And Tony Iommi in a Porsche. Nice, eh? Good old Tony and his Porsche. Anyway, Dunsey, get to the point. We have, in this one we have a review by Dave Dixon again of Headstone, the last album, compilation album really. 3 sides compiled from various bands and the 4th side live from Hammersmith Odeon. Again, I'll scan this one in. I'll just read the last paragraph. UFO were always one of my favourite hard rock bands, and I'm sorry to see them disappear. but as an obituary, I think this is both a timely and fitting tribute to a great band. Sums up, I think. And I have another one, but this is much later. I think I've got this because when I get on to doing Wasted, if I can find it. When I get on to doing Paul's work in Wasted, this was just when he joined Pete and Finn and some drummer chap. Who's the drummer on this? Jerry Shirley. He's famous. I didn't know it was Jerry Shirley. And Keely Chamberlain, but that's for another day. So that's the first bit of making contact done. I mean, a lot of people have been subscribing to my channel, and I guess not everyone's a guitar player. I mean, I started these for the reasons of talking about the album and for the reason of showing people how you play the guitar riffs. But you know, I like talking about these albums, love these albums, and parts 2 and part 3 of this particular video, which I'll release maybe next week. It takes a while to film guitar lessons, I can tell you that, especially when I'm trying to remember how I played them last week and then play them properly. So this one is exclusively just a look at the album and talking about it, and then after I finally shut up talking, there'll be a couple of tracks at the end and all the scanned material from the magazines to look at. So as I said in the beginning of the video, I never imagined for a second that Paul wouldn't be here at the end of it. It's just crazy stuff, you know. None of us are getting any younger, that's for sure. So thank you for watching, folks. I'll get back with parts 2 and 3, which are mostly exclusively for the guitar playing fraternity. And thank you for watching. Speak to you soon. Cheers.
The payback's twice as bad. This time don't make them mine. Tell the kill is dying. Wheel his truck. The engine running till it sees done. The shadow shotgun ring. Just the smell of diesel in the dust. In town, gonna settle their score by using marijuana law. Tell the kid is dying with the wheel of his truck, the engine running till it seems stuck. I heard a thing, the shot of shotgun ring, just the smell of diesel in the dust, diesel in the dust. Sheriff's car pulled in. Just the silence, you get bumped in again. Yeah. Leaving the hell and he was back instead. The better release the pussy. Tell the kill is dying with the wheel of his truck. The engine running till it seems dead. Everything, a shot of shotgun ring. Just the smell of diesel in the dark.